Good evening, everyone. Sorry we're starting a little bit late. We had some technical difficulties. I'll call to order the regular meeting of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, September 25th, 2025, 6 p.m. I'd like to invite Jeff Baden, Senior Pastor, Hamilton Life Church, to come forward, provide our invocation, and lead us in our pledge. If everyone stand, if able.
Thank you. Let's pray. Lord, we thank you for this evening. We thank you for this day. We thank you for just the gift that it is. And Father, we pray your blessing over this city council meeting tonight. Father, I pray your blessing over each city council member, Lord, over our mayor, over our vice mayor, over every city official that is here and represented. Father, we pray your wisdom for them, God, your blessing upon them, Lord, and just that they would operate in rule, in provide just governance according just to the fruit of your Spirit. God, give them courage and boldness and understanding and discernment over all of the little tasks and big tasks that they have to do today. Father, and we pray that each one of them will just experience your peace in a fresh way. Lord, we thank you for your grace and mercy on our life, and we pray this in your name, your Son's precious name, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Roll call, Ms. Dietrich.
Mayor Williams,
Here.
Vice Mayor Tyler,
Here.
Councilmember Cagle,
Here.
Councilmember Ezell,
Here.
Councilmember Witt,
Here.
City Manager Miller,
Here.
Attorney Cash.
Here.
All right, the next item we have on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of September 11th, 2025. I assume everyone's had an opportunity to review those, and I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the September 11th meeting. Second.
Have a motion to approve minutes by Vice Mayor Tyler and a second by Councilmember Ezell. Do we have any comments, discussions, corrections? I'll see none. Roll call, Ms. Dietrich.
Vice Mayor Tyler,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Ezell,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes, minutes have been approved. We'll move to the next item is communications from citizens. This is an opportunity for citizens to come forward and address the council with any questions, concerns, or accolades, and each citizen will have up to 5 minutes. Thank you, sir. And first one we have signed in is Pam Whaley.
Sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I live at 1515 Springvale Road, and I have a lot of kind of complaints. I talked to the code enforcer, and he was supposed to, he got back with me last Friday, and he said he'd be with me the first of the week, and he has never gotten back with me. They said last week that they would put signs up because the grass is so tall across the street, it flooded there. The most, anything, it was like 4 to 5 feet. The grass is real tall on 2 houses. That's not my concern, really. My concern is have a house next door that belongs to a hoarder, and she hoards everything, her stuff and her mother's stuff. Now, when this rain came in, it went 4 to 5 feet. They're having to take out the insulation, the floors, even, down to the other part. She hasn't done anything to her house. She hasn't been there to do anything to her house. And there's mold. It's black mold. I've called the health department. They can't help me. I called air pollution. They cannot help me. I've talked to the code department. I don't know what they're going to do. It's white and black mold. You can smell it. I can't because I have allergies so bad. Okay, they're racing up and down the street. I mean, they're racing. They've killed a lot of animals, but they're going to one day kill a child, and I'm concerned about that. And the noise that they make from this red truck, I don't know whose it is, but it jars all of our houses. It sets out the alarm in my truck, and it just goes down through there jarring. Also, this woman next door, they said that the chimney was not in code. So they said that they'd have to see what else wasn't in code. Well, she's had no electricity for 6 years. She's had no water for 6 years. She just hoards stuff, you know. And the window was shot out through the front. It's got a Alabama flag on it to cover it up. The gunshot, it went through to the closet, and that was about 6 years ago. She's never done nothing about that. The garage doors got all broken glass on it. And, you know, they were supposed to see if the electricity, how long it's been cut off. You know, there's no electricity, no water. And also, they have some equipment, I don't know what it is, down at the park that they've had sitting down there for about 2 days. I don't know what it is or what they're planning on doing. But even Marie, this woman that lives on down there next to the bridge, she's had 80% of her house destroyed. She's the same age as me. She's like 76. And you have 80% of your house and all your appliances has to be replaced. I just cry for her. You know, I mean, the floors, everything is gone. And she can't get back in the house until December, Christmas. And sir, it's just, East Ridge has gone down. And it breaks my heart. I've lived here for all these years. I mean, can y'all do anything? I mean,
So we've got a chief building official and
Order, do we have enough to bring this before the housing commission? We're looking into that right now. Okay.
the housing, Cameron told me that it could go to the housing department, that they would do little steps. They couldn't,
We would have a hearing before the housing commission.
huh?
We would have a hearing before the housing commission.
Yeah, well, this is like 1517 Springvale, and the roof is about to cave in, sir. I mean, and I think there's a hole he couldn't really see because she has no trespassing on her property, but I think she's got a hole up there where the chimney's at. Raccoons gets up there.
This is 1517 Springvale.
Raccoons gets up there, and I've reported that in the house, and she's putting boards up there.
She doesn't live there, does anybody, nobody lives there?
Nobody lives there. Her,
Okay, well, then we'll take a look at that and see if we can't send in, we have to give notice under law, we have to give notice to the property owner, a notice of violation of certain parts of our code, give her so many days, 10, 15 or so days to bring it into compliance. If she doesn't do it, then we'll take it before the housing commission. They actually have the authority to raise the building if they need be, if it comes down to that. And it sounds like if nobody's living there and it's just being used and it's as bad as you think it is,
I mean,
it could be a candidate for removal.
she's got a riding lawnmower in the living room.
I'm sorry?
Got a riding lawnmower in the living room, and someone stole her lawnmower, that was in the living room.
Yeah.
But, it's like, it's just getting worse, and the roof is about to cave in. My house sits higher, so Jesus was with 3 of our neighbors. Mine was one of them. I didn't get one drop of water in my house, not one. And
I was down there, you're talking about the August 12th storm, we had 6.7 inches. I was down there with the police chief, about 8:30?
yeah, we were down there that morning.
We were down there that evening. There was 3 feet of water, and I would say probably 20 to 25 houses were underwater. And we went back the following morning. The whole street area was dry as a bone.
at 3 o'clock
But
in
you
the
could
morning.
actually see where the
Yeah,
flood marks were Wednesday morning. So, that whole area is in a flood zone.
It was,
unfortunately.
it got up to my heating and air, just to the concrete thing. It didn't get in it,
The only house that was standing there was the one right across from Springvale Park. The one that's been built up. They had water all around it, but they didn't have it inside the building.
Yeah,
Because
Sarah.
they have built that house up
Yeah,
over the years, so
yes.
I know where you are. We'll take a look at it, check it out, and keep you advised.
Sounds like Codes is own it, so they will refer that to the Housing Commission if we don't get any response, and then they have, as Mr. Miller said, they have the ability to condemn it and actually even have it taken down if
Right.
there's no action taken.
We do that throughout the city. It sounds like it sounds like what you're telling us, it would be a candidate for removal.
I mean, you know, I don't like telling on somebody, but sir, I'm getting bugs in my house, and I don't know, raccoons and even the woman next door to me had possums, and 2 possums died underneath her house, you know, and it's animals that's coming in, you know. I mean, I don't mean no harm to her, but if you're gonna have a house and you're paying taxes on it, why aren't you keeping it up?
Right.
Okay.
All right. Codes is on it. We'll address it with the Housing Commission and try to get this thing resolved.
Hey, Mr. Williams, I sure appreciate it, and Mr. Miller, I sure appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome here anytime. All right, the next one we have is Aaron Oliver. Aaron. Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Aaron Oliver, 3934 South Mission Oaks Drive. I'm not here to complain, but I'm asking for help. And the help that I'm trying to get is that we need, during the school hours, especially in the morning and afternoons, we need to have either a patrolman or crossing guard or something there at the school. We have people blocking buses, doing U-turns in the front of the buses. I've even offered to be willing to get out and direct traffic, but you guys have a policy that, I've had to tell people you can't park on the streets, but we need help. We also need help on game days. And I'm gonna talk with the chief and see if we can do something with the citizen police with this fall's games. Right now it's a little late, but our officers, we need more officers during the game and after the game. It's been hard. I'm a one-man band. I love that song, but one of your officers can tell you, he's asked a number of kids to, okay, you can't do this, you can't do this, and they disrespect our officers. That's number one, and I don't like that. And then I'll come up and say the same thing that officer says, and they give me no lip. But I understand why. I've been there with these kids, probably most of them. I taught their parents, but we need help and want to do something, especially, we're gonna kill a kid, and let's try to prevent it now. I know we've gone over this 100 times, but this time it's getting worse.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I think we've discussed trying to get additional crossing guards. We've had ads.
We've been advertising. We've got
We had a couple applicants. I don't know if we had a status of that.
2. Yeah, you want to come up, Chief? I thought we were going to get a lot more resumes or applications for the position, and it's been disappointing.
Yes, Mayor and Council, I believe we had a total of 5 applicants. A couple of those are not going to be viable. We do have one, they're going to be employees of the city, so we have to go through the whole hiring process. Part of that's medical, so we have one that's set up for medical. We have another applicant that's coming in next week that I will enter. She's already been through the first initial background check, so I need to talk to her, and we'll try to get her in the process. On a happy note, Priscilla Taggart, who has been with us since 1973, has been out on medical issue, but she's scheduled to return. She works at the high school, then transfers down to Spring Creek. She's supposed to be back this Monday. So if we do get the proper stuff done on, we feel hopeful of 2 more on top of Ms. Taggart, but we're working. It's just, it's not an overnight thing to hire somebody when you're, you know, there are a lot of things involved.
I know we had some people at Spring Creek that volunteered. Is that still a possibility, or is it?
Absolutely. There is nothing that prevents the schools or any of the volunteers from going down there and doing school guard crossing duties. We provide it as a city, or at least we historically have as a city, but there is nothing that prevents your average citizen. Matter of fact, if somebody wants to volunteer, would be happy to give them a traffic vest so that they can remain safe during that endeavor.
Yeah, and we've actually been looking. We just hadn't had any applicants. And if you know anyone, or spread the word, we're looking for crossing guards and hiring them. So.
And if I could, just to I've heard some rumor that some of the questions are why we don't have our school resource officers out there, and it needs to be abundantly clear to everyone that is not their function. Their function is to keep children safe on the school property, so we're not going to move them out onto the roadway where they're hundreds of yards away from where they need to be if they can't offer a quick response. So, matter of fact, it's even in our memorandum of understanding with the county that the school guard is effectively prohibited from doing school crossing guard duty. So I've heard some of the scuttlebutt is why we don't move the SROs out there. That's why.
Takes them away from their prime responsibility, which is watching the kids
Correct.
full time and not watching cars.
Correct. So,
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Thank you, sir. We're trying. We understand the importance and the concern. That is all that is signed in, but if there's anyone else that would like to address the council, now is your opportunity. All right, I don't see anyone else. Then I will move to communications from council members. I'll start on this side. Councilmember Cagle.
No, sir, I don't have anything.
Vice Mayor Tyler.
Nothing at this time, Mayor. Thank you.
Councilmember Witt.
Nothing.
Councilmember Ezell.
Not right now.
All right. I'm going to ask Ms. Skiles to come forward. We have a little activity, an event that is about to occur that we're very excited about. Ms. Skiles, tell us a little bit about it. I've been speaking every week. I'm going to let you talk about it.
Yes, Mayor and Council. So this Saturday and Sunday, we will have our first ever 2-day Fall Festival, which started from our centennial 3 years ago, and then we started doing 1 day, and now we have a full-fledged 2-day. So this Saturday, September 27th from 10 to 5, and then Sunday, September 28th from 11 to 4 at Camp Jordan there at our amphitheater. We will have a kids' corner that will have inflatables. We have again, all of this stuff I'm reading is free. We have a petting zoo. We have a pumpkin patch. We had 16 pallets delivered by Food City down into the park yesterday that we unloaded. We also have, we have face painters. We have balloon artists. We have somebody doing little tinsel in the kids' hair. We have a photo booth that will be located beside our Parks and Rec tent that, again, is free. And all of this has been made possible, for one, for our city council, and then two, our event sponsors, ASA Engineering and Consulting being our main event sponsor. We had TJ Hunt Trucking, DPC Center, Smoothie King, Park Ridge, First Bank, the Barn Nursery. We had probably about 25 sponsors this year, almost donating about $22,000 to this to pay for everything that we're supplying. We also have a band Saturday, and then Sunday we have a DJ. But again, every bit of this will be free to the Eastridge community, anyone else that wants to be down at Camp Jordan. Fire will be there. Mike and his guys will have a little booth set up that will teach the kids about fire, and they can run water through like little building and stuff. Police will be there. Our code department will be there. The animal shelter will be there. Eastridge Animal Hospital is doing the first 10 pets that come up, free exams for them. So it's been a great event that we have expanded on. Hannah, who runs my community center, has actually taken the lead of this year, since I've been involved with so many other projects, and she's done a really, really good job of putting everything together. So I can't wait for y'all to see her hard work this Saturday and Sunday. Then because we're 2 months out, we were on Monday, is our Eastridge Christmas Parade that will now be on, Diane's like, next thing, November 22nd from 6:30 to right about 8:30. So we'll be spreading the love and the joy through the holidays. We will have Santa Claus and Miss Claus there. That will start on Germantown Ringo Road, ending on Tombras Avenue and Ringo Road. I sent packets out, I think it was Tuesday night is when I sent them out to all of our nonprofits, our education division, our non-exempt, and our businesses. And then Cameron McAllister is going to start sending them out to the other new businesses in East Ridge. It's a $10 fee. It's really cheap. Last year we had almost, I think, 85, 90 participants. We were kind of at our max, but we're going to look at like rearranging how we do our traffic. But the parade seems to grow every year. So again, our Christmas parade will be on November 22nd, starting at 6:30, starting on Germantown Road. If anybody needs or has questions, they're welcome to email me or call me. Reach out to City Hall. They'll put you in touch with me.
Thank you, ma'am. We're very excited about the Fall Festival. As she said, it's now expanded to 2 days just from the involvement and participation. And then we always love our Christmas parade. We're the first one, and we take a lot of pride in it. The only other thing that I'll mention over on the city library side is they're already looking for donations for trick-or-treat candy. So you can drop that off anytime between now and Tuesday, October the 21st. And that's all that I'll have. I'll pass it to the city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Just have a couple items to go over. First off, John Ross Road. I certainly realize that that is in bad shape. I traveled it from one end to the other today. I agree with all the complaints that the council, mayor, and myself are getting. The WWTA has been out there for the past several months taking care of manhole rehabilitations, replacement sewer lines in certain areas, and slip lining sewer lines in other areas. They are to be complete today. State has issued a grant to the city on an 80-20 split, and a contract has been let with Talley and Wright Brothers. They'll be mobilizing their equipment around October 1st and start between October 1st and October 15th with milling the whole road from John Ross at Ringgold Road all the way down to the Chattanooga City line. So they'll be starting somewhere around October 10th. I know it'll be a pain in the butt in regard to traffic. We'll be detouring some depending on where we are located on that roadway. However, when it's done and completed, it will be a lot better, pretty much like McBrien Road is from Ringgold Road north to South Terrace. So please bear with us. We've been working on this project for 5 or 6 years to get it funded, to get the bid let, and to get the contractors on board to get this resurfacing job done. It's down at North Mac Smith Road. That's the one where we're doing the widening. That's in front of, that's down there where the Fairfield Inn and Suites and Cracker Barrel are. The sidewalks and curb has been installed on the east side from the north end all the way to the south end of the Cracker Barrel area. Expansion lanes to the west, they've got a couple layers of crushed stone down there, and with 2 more layers to do, and then they'll be looking at resurfacing that. They're trying to work as fast as they can to get out of that project, to get it complete and done with. And I'll be glad, as well as all the business owners on North Mac Smith Road, when it is done. Update on the 2 construction projects we have going on. The Venue 1921 at East Ridge, the installation of the storefront glass in the east and the west portions of the building are complete. Hanging of the drywall in the low bays, the east and the west side, is complete. They're in the process now of painting. The installation of the irrigation started this week. I'm probably looking at grass being laid sometime in October, November. Tiling of the floors in the restroom started last week. It should be complete by the end of this week, tomorrow, or early next week. and the sidewalks are being formed around the building. So we're moving very progressively on this construction project. We're still looking at a substantial completion somewhere around the end of November or the second week in December. Community center expansion, the electrical rough-in is completed. Hanging of the drywall in the low bay area started Monday. The acoustical tiling started Monday. And the in-wall plumbing in the bathrooms and the senior area in the kitchen is complete. The metal building addition that will go out about 35 to 40 feet to the west will be coming in around October 15th. That's still on schedule, and at that time, we'll be looking at the full expansion of the gymnasium inside. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. All right, we'll move to the next item, which is old business ordinance number 1232.
An ordinance to amend East Ridge City Code, Article 12, Chapter 3, Section 12301, in order to adopt the 2023 National Electrical Code as the official electrical code of the city of East Ridge.
Thank you, sir, and this will be second and final reading. Mr. Howell.
Yes, Mayor and Council, just a quick recap on this one. Since we are an exempt municipality from the State Fire Marshal's Office requirements, we are required to stay within 7 years of the most recently published code, being we are on the 2017 NEC, which requires us to be within 7 years, which would be the 2023 NEC. The next published code for the 2023 NEC would be 2026, and that would put us well out of the 7 years of requirement. So therefore, we're asking to adopt the 2023 NEC.
Thank you, sir. Council, I'll entertain a motion for ordinance number 1232.
Make a motion to accept ordinance number 1232.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Councilmember Ezell and a second by Councilmember Witt. Do we have any discussion? See none. Roll call, Ms. Dietrich.
Vice Mayor Tyler,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Ezell,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Ordinance number 1232 approved, second and final reading. We'll move to item 9, new business. Item A, ordinance number 1233.
An ordinance of the East Ridge City Council to amend the fiscal year 2026 operating budget, ordinance number 1226, by changing the revenues and expenditures of various funds.
Thank you, sir. This is first reading. Ms. Qualls.
Yes, sir. As explained in the memo, that we're doing the general fund to reflect some donations that have been received. The grant fund is to do, where we're gonna be a pass-through for the WWTA grant that they have. Solid waste was that we purchased a truck, and then we also received insurance money. And then with the capital improvement, it was just for the change order on North Mac Smith that had to do with the dirt, soft.
Replacement of unsuitable soil.
Yes. But I noticed, I started looking at my ordinance. There are some, in the general fund, it should be being changed to $20,830,365. Sorry for the error. In the grant fund, the expenditure should be $3,063,174. And then the solid waste, the revenue should be the same as expenditures, which is $2,222,905. Those will be correct on the second reading, and I'm sorry.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Council, I'll entertain a motion for ordinance number 1233.
I make a motion to approve ordinance number 1233.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Councilmember Witt and second by Councilmember Tyler. Do we have any discussion? See none, roll call, Ms. Dietrich.
Vice Mayor Tyler,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Ezell,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes, ordinance number 1233 passed first reading. We'll move to item B, resolution number 3741.
A resolution of the East Ridge City Council authorizing the city to accept 2 donations in the total amount of $3,000 from the East Ridge Seventh-day Adventist Church to benefit the East Ridge Police Department and the East Ridge Fire Department.
Thank you, sir. Chief Williams and Usleton.
I was gonna let him talk, he likes to talk.
Y'all are allowed to stand together.
That's not.
No, East Ridge Seventh-day Adventist Church, donated, $1,500 to, both us and the fire department. It's very generous and we appreciate that for them. We will, use it for, needy causes within the department.
I concur.
Awesome.
I'm not gonna say anything. Ours is 1,500, so it's the same amount for both fire and police.
Awesome. Thank you both, gentlemen. And we thank the East Ridge Seventh-day Adventist Church. Council will entertain a motion for resolution number 3741.
Make a motion to approve resolution 3741.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Vice Mayor Tyler and a second by Councilmember Ezell. Do we have any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, Ms. Dietrich.
Vice Mayor Tyler,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Ezell,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution number 3741 approved, and again, we thank East Ridge Seventh-day Adventist. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll move to item C, resolution number 3742.
A resolution of the East Ridge City Council approving an addition to the audio-visual contract for Venue 1921 at East Ridge through AVI SPL's Global Support and Maintenance Program.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Giles.
Yes, Mayor and Council. A few weeks ago, when Council and the Mayor approved our AV service, we were asked at that point to look at having a 5-year plan so that we had a maintenance plan in place and a sound system plan in place. I had AV Integration Services send that back to me, and for the next 4 years, which again, this date will adjust to the install date of when the system goes in at the completion of this project. So for the next 4 years of maintenance, it would be $13,555.91, and the sound machine is our licensing for our music, which again will take place for the next 4 years also, will be $2,030.12. So the grand total would be $15,586.03, and this would cover Venue 1921 for an additional 4 years on top of the 1 year that you have already approved now after the AV installation.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, right, because the first one is included in the purchase.
Correct.
In the warranty,
Yes.
yes.
The first year, maintenance is included in that service, and so is the sound machine. But you had suggested there be a 5-year plan, which again, it would be a 4-year based on what you had already approved. So I had them pull the figures for us, and now I'm presenting it to council and the mayor for approval.
Thank you.
This will expire on October 31st, 2030.
No, the dates will adjust based on when the final installation will be put in. So if we don't put in the system until December of this year, that will adjust, and Ryan verified that for myself and Councilman Cagle on the phone.
Verify that, because
Yes.
that's not what the contract says.
I know, but that it will adjust, he said, based on when the final project is put in.
Substantial completion.
Yes, and I can have him put that in writing for us if
I
you need
would,
to. Okay?
absolutely, just in case.
Thank you. Good questions. All right, council, I'll entertain a motion for resolution number 3742.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 3742.
Second.
A motion to approve by Councilmember Witt and a second by Vice Mayor Tyler. Do we have any discussion?
I got one question that I forgot to ask.
Okay.
Sir.
Okay. Say the completion is January 1, okay? But the 4 years don't start till the following January 1, correct?
Yes,
Okay,
Yeah,
and
we
I
have
will
1 year-
reach out
1
to
year warranty.
Ryan. Mhm.
okay.
But by going with this contract now, we
She
get a
said completion
substantial
of the-
substantial reduction in cost if we get it.
Yeah, and I'll email Ryan tomorrow and have him put that back into writing to the city manager that will fluctuate like he told us on the phone when I called him. Because I never thought to ask that. I'd just seen the 4 years. But as of right now, we look to hopefully start the installation in, November of this year, according to how fast they keep working.
Awesome. Any other questions, council? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Dietrich.
Vice Mayor Tyler,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Ezell,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution number 3742 approved. We'll move to item D, resolution number 3743.
A resolution of the East Ridge City Council approving a bid for a trophy vendor to supply trophies for various sports programs for the Parks and Recreation Department effective from September 2025 through August 2026.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Giles.
Yes, Mayor and Council. The Parks and Rec Department solicited bids from qualified vendors to provide trophies for our youth programs there at Camp Jordan. We received 3 bids, one of them being from Classic Metallics Incorporated for $17,065, one from Common Sense Awards for $8,075, and one from Awards Excellence for $6,685. Now, the way that we wrote the bid is everything is an estimated quantity. So for instance, if you look in the package, you'll see for soccer, baseball, t-ball, softball, our generic 6.5 inch, we estimated 1,100 players based on last year's number. But we only have 800. That's all we're gonna pay for is 800 times the 475. Because we put everything in the bid that says it is not a guaranteed amount, it is only an estimate based on previous year's numbers of all of our sports. So we're not contracted to this. Everything is an estimate, and so that's why you'll see sport, line description, estimated quantity, price each, and total price based on last year's numbers. So that's explained a little bit more clearly.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, council, I'll entertain a motion for resolution number 3743.
Make a motion to approve resolution 3743.
Second.
A motion to approve by Vice Mayor Tyler and a second by Councilmember Witt. Do we have any discussion? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Dietrich.
Vice Mayor Tyler,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Ezell,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution number 3743 approved. We'll move to the next item, item E. Discussion of, go ahead.
An ordinance,
Well, no, this is actually a discussion of the service of alcohol at venue 1921 at East Ridge.
You want me to start?
Ms. Giles.
Yes, Mayor and Council. At our last council meeting, I presented this on our tentative because we needed to start the discussion of wine, beer, and spirits at venue 1921. So venue 1921 at East Ridge, named in honor of the city's founding year, is being developed as a premier destination for both company, private events, as we prepare to host weddings, receptions, fundraisers, luncheons, dinners, and other special gatherings. The ability to offer alcoholic services under the proper licensings and regulation is a key component enhancing the venue's appeal and aligning with the public's expectations. Again, myself, City Attorney Mark, City Manager Mr. Miller, and Miss Jennifer, we've all been meeting and we've worked with the TABC on all of their policies and their procedures. We actually launched an RFQ to start looking for a preferred vendor list for bartenders. So again, the city would not be serving this alcohol. We would literally have a preferred vendor list of people that we trust and we work with to hand to our event or renters to be like, you'll pick for one of the 5 or 6 that we do have respond to the RFQ. We did verify with the TBAC, we do not have to have a permit or anything. It would be the people renting have that. And Mark has already started working on an ordinance, I believe, to send everybody to start reviewing as we start the procedure to work on that ordinance.
Yeah, I just got this ordinance the other day, so it wasn't in your packet. You have a copy of it. in front of you. And basically, this is a draft that was done. I want to point out under section 3, the consumption of alcohol beverages. The authorization would be a written approval of the city manager or designee. And then under conditions of city approval, city council would then impose by resolution applicable directions or conditions that they would want to set in regard to the consumption of wine and alcoholic beverages, and including but not limited to 1 through 6. So this is kind of a skeleton of what the city attorney has come up with to date.
Thank you, sir. It's a discussion, and we've just had a fresh ordinance handed to us as we approach the dais, so I'll open this up for any discussion. Council?
Okay.
I'm ready.
This that I've got in the packet here is, you don't have a number on it, I reckon it's, but anyway, it says we are amending, Title 8, Chapter 1, Section 102. Okay, so it's got the alcoholic beverages on premises, so it does not state wine, liquor, or just beer. It just says alcoholic beverages.
Section 3 is alcoholic beverages. Section 4 is compensation of beer on city-owned property at venue 1921.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Same page, page 2 of 4.
Now this is what we're amending it to.
This is the draft proposal, yes.
Consumption, all right, so,
If I may interject while you're looking, this is specifically for venue 1921.
I just wanted to say that.
Not all
Thank you, Mayor.
property in,
This is only 1921.
so it says 8/2/21 consumption. Title 8, Chapter 2 is amended by adding new section 8-221 as follows. Here it's listing the sale and serving and consumption of beer and beer only. That's A. B, consumption of beer, alcohol and wine is not listed. No sale, serving, consumption, and this is with, unless you come and get a special permit. So, we are amending it to where it's just gonna be for the sale of beer.
And alcohol.
Well, I don't see alcohol, all I see is beer.
Section 3 at the top of the page of the draft.
8-108.
8-108, chapter, is amended by adding a new section, 8-108. This is a new section, which would be consumption of alcoholic beverage on city-owned property at venue 1921.
So section 3
That's the
handles
section
the
that
alcoholic
had-
beverages. Section
Do you have
4
the
is
draft that was
beer.
in front of you?
All I've got's what's in the book here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You
all
should-
I've got's what's in the book here.
You should
That's
have,
what I'm reading
I thought
from.
was there not one dropped off for him?
there was one put in everybody's,
Oh, is it in there?
no, it was one put on everybody's seat.
Are you referring to maybe where it says you have section 3?
4.
Are you referring to section 4 where it says the consumption of beer on city-owned property at venue 1921 on down? Where, the top one, which
You're
is
looking at
8-108, says
8-108.
alcoholic?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Page 2.
okay.
Top of page 2 is alcoholic beverages. Right at the very bottom of page 2, it's the heading for consumption of beer, which rolls into page 3.
Okay, well, I'll have to just read a
Sorry, I
little
thought you had that over
Yeah.
there in front of you.
Yeah. She had it here, but I just hadn't had time to read it and comprehend it.
Okay. Any other discussion at this time, council? Mr. Miller, are you actually looking for some feedback between now and the next council meeting, or you want to bring it back at the council meeting? Head of is better,
It's up,
but we still,
we can put this on to give you more time to digest it. I mean, it's an important issue or item that we need to consider for, and we're starting to get, individuals coming in and booking dates. We have a, what is
We do have
reunion
one
set
event that's
scheduled,
contingent,
two or
or,
three, 250,
Yeah.
300 coming in, and they want alcohol.
yeah, they're tentative on doing a contract with us until we are able to do that. Two other ones too today, and then I actually had a week-long one today that called, so, but they didn't want alcohol, but the other three do. They're reunions, one of them being a foundation that has used the Reed House, and they're wanting to come here because they're all from East Ridge. So,
Okay.
a couple of different things. While y'all look through this week, because I know Councilman or Vice Mayor Tyler worked in a restaurant and, knows a little bit more about some of this stuff. When me and Jennifer were working on stuff, please email me or email the city manager, Mark, or city attorney, Mark, with any of these suggestions as we work on that. Because I think I talked to him like 5 times the other day, dissecting the other two, and then pointing out what Councilman Cagle had pointed out last time, which is in those two ordinances, it went from beer to alcohol, and us trying to basically just target this ordinance for venue 1921. So, because we're not wanting to try to bring liquor into the parks right now,
so I'll ask the council if you can review this and potentially provide your feedback ahead of the next council meeting. I would think it would be greatly appreciated with all the events that are pending this decision. If not, we'll address it and try to have something by,
Yeah, this
Formally-
draft was put together real quick. Like I said, I got it Tuesday evening after the agenda went out, so wanted to use it kind of as an outline for discussion. If you want, I can put it on for further discussion at the next council meeting on October 9th, or first reading on October 9th.
Sure. The only question I have is, under the section 3B with compliance with state law
Yes.
and then conditions of city approval. I don't see it listed here, and it may be included in the annotated linking and all that with the state code, but I don't see anything about provision of TABC service permits from like the people who would actually be serving there. And then under conditions of the city approval, I don't see a section on supplying a copy of those for our filing purposes.
Certificates,
Certificates, yeah.
got it.
are you talking about the COIs?
Yeah, that would be
or the-
conditions of city approval, that only those that have certificates of serving,
So we have licensing. Any event serving alcohol must comply with the Tennessee Alcoholic Beverage Commission. A special occasion license may be issued to a bona fide charitable foundation, nonprofit, political organization in a 24-hour period. These licensed sales of alcoholic beverages, wine, high gravity beer, or for consumption. And then it has applications must be submitted at least 2 weeks prior to the event and include a letter of permission from us, the venue. And then server permits. Individuals serving alcohol must hold a server permit issued by the TABC, which requires completion of certificate, certified alcohol awareness program, and adhere to the background check requirements. So all of that will be put in there. Will also require COIs. That's why we put out an RFQ to try to recruit people that want to be on our preferred vendor list for the bartending service, because again, we're not serving the alcohol.
Sure.
And when my son got married, I had 3 people I had to choose from at his venue that I had to use. And that's who that venue used. And that's what we plan to do. And we plan to, once that RFQ has come in and we've reviewed it, we'll present that to council too. That way we're completely transparent with everything. The venue guidelines too, all alcohol service must be approved in advance, and that's again by Mr. Miller, because we have to send in a letter. Events must comply with any municipal code, which is whatever we decide as a city. Alcohol must be served by licensed vendors or individuals with valid server permits. No alcohol may be served to minor visibility intoxicated individuals. So Me and Jennifer worked on a whole list of these things, and we did give those to Mark. So if there are more like specific things you want to see in there, Vice Mayor, send those over to Mark so he can adjust those in there. Because we have given him the legal requirements, and I've circled everything you just asked about, so I can send those to him too.
Sure. And possibly some clarification on enforcement mechanisms of anyone who happens to violate any of these rules. If we have anybody over there serving people who are intoxicated or serving individuals who are underage, I'd like to see some sort of language that is clear on what's going to happen to them if they do so.
So if you look at section D on both page 3 and or page 2 and 3, we have a requirement of security and law enforcement presence at Camp Jordan in our contracts now. If we have beer, they are required to have a police officer.
Okay.
Period. So those are things, again, that we can write in here, because if someone is doing that, then we're going to have our officer arrest them at that point, because.
Sure.
Correct, Clint? But yes, that is a requirement that we can, we already require that now in anything that we do at Camp Jordan. If we have the Aries fights, when we have guns and hoses, when we have roller derby, they are required to have a police officer if beer is being served, and we require 1 to 2. So that is something that Mark did put in here, or put in our discussions in here, so that we can also do that. But the liability of it would be something from Mark and
Sure.
Chief.
Well,
I'd have to find out.
These event licensed event caterers for these events, you know, if any member of their staff happens to fall afoul and break some of these rules, I'd like some of these people to have to answer to at least the beer board or the city council, or get some sort of stiff fine levied on them and removed from our vendor list. You know, that's kind of where I'm getting at here. Right?
Yeah.
Clarification on
The beer
what happens
board
if they.
wouldn't be able to do anything, from what Attorney Litchford said, because it's a beer board.
Sure.
It's not.
Council.
Yeah, so it'd be council is what it would go back to, because we don't have a liquor and everything. It's just the beer is from what Mark said to us the other day, correct? It would come back to council.
We're actually, when we get the RFQs in for the bartenders, whatever, to be able to serve, we'll have a list of those. If any of them are violated, of course, the council's going to end up approving that list, are they
Yes.
not?
Yeah,
So
we will do our
once they're
due
approved,
diligence to go through
That's
them.
the list that the vendor who wants to come in for the event
We'll have to use.
can use. If any one of those violates our rules and our procedures, then we would bring before the city council to have them removed from that list.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you for that clarification.
Oh, no, you're more than welcome. And I'll make sure that once we have vetted everyone, because that is something me and the new venue manager will do. We will vet these people.
Sure.
You know, we'll try to make sure that I will call the TABC, make sure that they've been in compliance and everything, and then give the list of names to you and council for review also. And then the city manager will also review those for us.
Excellent. I mean, you can ask anybody who's ever worked for me. Responsible service is
Oh, yeah.
something I'm a stickler for, so I'm
Understood.
going to be very keen on making sure
And
that.
so that's why, again, on any of this stuff from your previous experience, please, in case we've missed something, reach out to Mark to make sure we get that added or that we need to look at.
You bet. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, council, if none of there, any other questions, we'll move on, but let's get our suggestions, recommendations. We can have a working draft that we can look at for first reading next meeting. All right, that is all that we have on the agenda, the regular agenda. So the next item is the discussion for the tentative agenda for October the 9th. Under old business, it's ordinance number 1233, an ordinance of the East Ridge City Council to amend the fiscal year 2026 operating budget. Ordinance number 1226 by changing the revenues and expenditures of various funds. This will be the second and final reading. I believe Ms. Qualls mentioned there's a couple corrections that'll be made that she explained, but is there any other discussion, council? I see none. Also, under old business, discussion of mobile food trucks. Mr. Miller, Mr. Howell?
Yeah, Mr. Howell was the major author of this, and we've had 5 sessions where we sat down and amended it, so we've had 5 different versions, and this is the last version that we've come up with. We both added what we felt was germane to the mobile food trucks per our conversations with the council members over the past months. So Mike, I'll let you go through it and I'll add in when I need to.
Yeah, Mayor and Council, so like Mr. Miller stated, this is the 5th version we went through with this, and we feel this food truck ordinance lays a solid foundation for food trucks to operate successfully and safely within the city of East Ridge. It provides a clear understanding for the city to enforce, offers vendors predictable outcomes to follow, and it creates opportunities for new options for small business growth as well. At this stage, we're asking City Council to review the proposed ordinance and give feedback on Draft 5. With the City Council's input, we can refine the framework and move forward with possible adoption of this. So in this ordinance, we have a identified overlay zone, which is where the Urban Stories Ventures property is located at, where we closed a portion of Old Ringo Road that has been designated as a food truck alley. To say that section would not require, other than the property owners stating we can have food trucks in here, but we do in this ordinance, it is shown in here to have or allow food trucks within the commercial, office, and manufacturing districts with the permission from the owners as well. This also lays some groundwork foundation for permanent food trucks to be operated on some properties with the owner's permission to do so. So once again, we ask you to look at this very, very closely, give us any more ideas or redactments in it that we might need to change on it, but we consider the consideration for this. Thank you.
All right, council, any discussion items?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I think once a month, maybe the high school has like teachers' appreciation. And they have a food truck that comes in and cooks the food there for the teachers. What is going to be involved here on that continuing on as far as this new? What are they going to have to do different?
In order to operate any food truck within the city of East Ridge corporate limits, you would have to have a fire inspection on it, and you would have to have a food truck permit, a mobile food truck permit to operate.
Okay.
Now that will eliminate any city events. Keep that in mind. Anything at Camp Jordan that we have, like your fall festival and stuff like that, they're not required to have.
Section 5.
Yes.
5.3.
Oh, I got it. And a canteen truck, your definition states it's just prepared food that they're bringing to the site to sell. They're not cooking, it's just,
Correct.
right.
Correct.
So if a, quote, mobile trailer shows up and his food's already prepared too, does he fall back under that? Or is he still designated as gonna be cooking it, but he's not? You see what I'm saying? He brings in the prepared food too, and he have a microwave to heat it up. Is he gonna fall back in under the canteen truck?
He would fall under that because he's not preparing food, even though it's not in a mobile unit. It is in a hauling trailer of some sorts, yes.
So he would fall back.
Yes.
Okay.
I would point out one thing in this that me and Mr. Miller had discussed, that the canteen trucks, or as Mr. Cagle, I think he identified as a roach coach. I think this last.
That's what we.
Yeah,
That's what
I.
The nickname.
Yeah, the roach coach. So in this, we had actually eliminated. There was a definition. The definition for the canteen trucks in here, we had removed a portion of it where it said they did not require a permit to operate. Well, that we took that out. But if you notice, I think it's on page 7 actually, and that's my mistake here on operation on public property, I believe it is. 9.4, canteen trucks are not regulated by this chapter. They are regulated by this chapter, so that's something we'll have to work, revising this as well.
So canteen trucks going to having to have a permit to operate in our city, correct?
They will.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, I usually wait to go last. So, 2.9, I see there's a hard stipulation of 2 days. Well, let me first say, I do think that it is good to have some type of food truck regulation. I'm all for them, but I think we do need some guidelines and some guardrails. 2.9 says 2 days. My only question there is if you have an event that starts on a Friday night and goes to a Saturday and Sunday, that could be problematic, I think. So if we could look at some kind of nomenclature there, some kind of verbiage. And I know you're talking about, we've got the overlay for the food truck permitted there, I think, on the Old Ringo Road, but this also is allowable anywhere within the city if it's approved and meet the requirements. Is that correct?
Yes.
That is correct, per the property
Based
owner.
on a permit.
Yes.
Is there any restrictions considered, council, if we want any type of distance from any brick and mortar restaurant?
Well, in this, reading through it, there is actually a stipulation, like on the permanent truck, it has to be 20 feet away from a building. Does that pertain to what he's asking? Do we want that across the board, or?
We discussed brick and mortar buildings within the city, and we felt that it would lie upon the property owner. I mean, if they're close, let's say if a property owner actually owns a restaurant and a food truck wants to come in and set up on their property, obviously I don't think they're going to allow them. But we did discuss that. We ultimately decided not to put that in there. But if city council would love to see that in there, it's something we could.
I'm just asking questions for input from council. If we've got a brick and mortar paying property tax and has a restaurant, how are their feelings if they have a food truck pulled right up next
Right
to them?
We see
That
that.
rolls in and sells and then rolls out, and there's possibly, yes.
But then we covered that, did we, Bay? If they've got, say the dollar store down here, like that one that sets up down there about every other weekend, it's right across the street from a restaurant, all right? As long as they've got permission from the dollar store to set up there, or the church to set up there, or somebody to set up there, then we have no control over them setting there. With the restaurant being across the street, because there is the biggest complaint I'm getting is the brick and mortar say, I'm paying property taxes, I'm
Right.
sitting here.
That's why I'm asking. Do
Yeah,
we want to put
I
some?
know it, but I'm just elaborating on what they're throwing at me, and just like another place, I'll give you they're cooking underneath their canopy and serving right off their sidewalk. I'm not gonna name the place, but,
I'm just bringing it up just
Yeah.
for this body
our
to
brick and
think
mortar
about.
need to be took care of. That's the reason why we need to leave it in a designated area. Food truck alley or private parties.
Grand openings?
Yeah.
But that would be under, grand openings and things would be under a special permit. But we're talking about those that travel up and down Ringgold Road and decide they want to set up shop, whether it be pulling out a grill or a cooker or whatever, and start selling food right next to or across the street from a brick and mortar store.
Yeah,
I'm getting those same complaints.
yeah, that happened Sunday right up here.
Exactly.
So I'm just putting that out there. I do have some concerns as well, so we can keep talking about it. I can move on. I've got a few other things highlighted that I wanted to speak about. The other one is hours of operations, 8 to 11. Well, we talking about 11 o'clock on a Sunday night? I think we need to fine tune that a bit, in my opinion. You know, weekdays versus weekends, things like that. That's 81H.
Yeah, I know where you are.
And then, going to go back to the beer type situation. I mean, some of these want to sell beer. So in P, it says sale of alcohol. Well, alcohol or alcoholic mixed beverage shall be prohibited. Is there a possibility for them to get a special beer permit to go along with the food truck permit? It's just a question for this council to think about and consider. Then the other thing, I think is the last thing that I had noticed, so from reading through this. So when you have a mobile food truck come in and they set up inside the city of East Ridge and they sell their product, where does that sales tax collection go? Does it stay in the city of East Ridge, or because their business is LLC is in the city of Chattanooga, does that sales tax collection benefit the city of Chattanooga and we get no benefit?
We've talked about that.
Yes, when there are people that set up at Camp Jordan in the arena for any events, we see their sales tax. I think they have to report sales tax in every city that they're in.
Okay.
Because we see where it's coming, we get it. Like from, the gun show, I get sales tax. Different garden expos, we got sales tax.
Yeah, but there's they're so regulated in some respect of being in the arena. Yes, we're talking about food trucks that are
Yeah.
open up and start serving
They're mobile.
Yeah, I know,
mobile
but the
on
park-
Ringgold Road, and
But the
Do
park
they-
is not in the border region, is it not?
It's what?
The park, Camp Jordan Arena is not in the
I'm
border.
not even really discussing board of
Yeah,
region. I
but
mean,
we
that's
get
a
sales
plus,
tax
but
for it.
I'm just talking about sales tax in
Yeah.
general.
I think, I will check with some cities that have it, but I know that usually when you're in a city, you've got to pay sales tax.
yes, you do.
Yeah.
So,
It's anything, you're paying 9
Question is,
1/4%.
where are they collecting it from? Are they mailing it from Chattanooga, or are they mailing it from East Ridge?
Or
uh,
are they even collecting it?
Right,
right,
turning it into the state.
how much sales tax have we collected from the food trucks that have already been set up in East Ridge?
None.
And who
On
Right.
Ringgold Road. That's why we're looking at regulations here.
Sure.
But if they're not reporting it
right now
then,
we
how are we gonna enforce them reporting it going forward?
That's a good question.
Do you have to have a codes person go out and see these people that are?
Well, when they come in and get their mobile food vending permit, which everybody who does that has to do, they need to show us their sales tax number that they're registered with sales tax. However, to go out there and run these people down on weekends and during the week, off hours and so forth,
Well, we will have a record of them pulling a permit and from what date, so we know that they should be some sales tax collected from that vendor on that time frame. So at least we have some control or some knowledge, which we don't now.
It'd be the same at the festival though, correct? The vendors selling the food there, sales tax?
Should be.
yeah,
They should be
People
recording
that's-
it.
That should be easy to check on right there.
Everything within Camp Jordan is like Diane said, that all gets.
that all sales tax, they report that, yes.
And it is noted within the ordinance in section 5.1. After speaking with Diane, Scott and I placed that in there where it would basically say, Tennessee sales tax at the state and local rate applicable to its business location report all sales, including sales made from temporary locations on the sales tax return for its business location. So it's built in there.
Awesome.
Matter of,
I just overlooked it. Thank you.
Yep.
That was just some things I wanted to mention for the council to consider when this comes up, and on October the 9th. Is there any other questions or discussions? Not today? All right, then,
Where do we want to go with this?
well, council, how do you want to go with this? Do you want to have a
Is this at
potential
the-
draft?
Is it at the position where we can forward this to the city attorney and have him draft the ordinance? This is all gonna be a new concept, because we don't have mobile truck ordinance at all in our code of ordinances.
One other question. On 2-day permits, I read somewhere in some of the truck catering things, that they have to require to have a bathroom set up if they have a place to sit down and eat.
So that was something else we looked at. It was basically time duration. Looking at a lot of other cities and how long their food trucks were allowed at a certain location, and if it went over a 3-hour period, yes, then restrooms were required. So in this case, this wasn't something we built into it. We didn't want porta potties out on Ringgold Road or anything like that. So it's hard to have that type of equipment with a food truck itself. So
Right.
that's a very difficult one to overcome.
And that would help us from, I'm gonna call it spot setting, driving up Ringgold Road and sitting. If they're not there, well then, go back to our designated areas for our food truck. Because the one spot we've got that we're gonna designate is right up here, everybody knows it. So the bathrooms are plenty available up there because of the other businesses that are on site. And there's an article in here about the garbage. Each truck gonna have to make sure, or the property owner gonna make sure they've got sanitation,
I'm
garbage
sorry,
set up.
Mr. Cagle. Yes, that's for the vendor. They provide their own sanitation and pick up their own sanitation.
They have to haul it off when they leave.
That is correct.
Council, direction on having the attorney draft a ordinance?
I would like to see him draft one, and then we can go back over it in the first reading.
It gives us,
Yeah, I guess so.
it gives us something to go with, if y'all agree.
Yeah, I'm fine with that as long as I'm provided a copy more than
2
5
weeks
minutes before.
Oh, this was in your, yeah.
Sure. But yeah, it'll probably be amended, so we're gonna have to take a look at it. So.
Oh, I know, okay.
Yeah, if we can get some of the things we kind of suggested and tweaked and then get that out.
Yes.
And I just appreciate all the hard work.
Oh, I know this was a lot of work. A lot of work. Anything else? Food trucks.
Now, just like the other day, I called the city manager about this truck up here on the road, and the next day they went and moved the truck off of Ringgold Road, put it back in the back, but their pavilion, I'm gonna call it their canopy-like thing with their dining area, is still sitting out there. Or things like that gonna be allowed, or are they gonna have to move them at the time?
I believe I know the lot that you're referring to, Mr. Cagle. Yes, so if, built into this ordinance would be basically if the owner allowed them to set up permanent location for a food truck, only one food truck would be able to be at that location. Now, other food trucks could, but only one could stay overnight. With that being said, that food truck would have, it'd have to be a certain distance off Ringgold Road, a certain distance away from the building itself, and things of that nature. But yeah, the outdoor dining would have to be also in an area that wouldn't be able to be, close to Ringgold Road.
So they wouldn't have to move it.
They would, yes, where it's currently at now would have to be moved, yes. If they're gonna provide outdoor dining area like that, yes.
They're calling permanent trucking, allow them to come in, just set up, serve today, leave the truck set up, come back next Saturday, serve again, leave it, so it's gonna be sitting out there 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
If the property owner allows it, that is correct, yes. Now, we didn't put anything in the ordinance as far as like how they have a makeshift pavilion, like you said, like a little lean-to built out there, that maybe that's something we need to look into, saying that only tables and chairs are allowed, no outdoor structures of any kind. That might be something city council want to take into consideration.
Also, too, on 5.7 in section 5, just straighten me out here. It says it shall be 20 feet away from a structure built of combustible, basically. And then it says again, it's got to be 20 feet away of a non-combustible. So,
Yeah.
it's 20 feet away from a building. Is that what we got here?
Councilman Ezell, that is correct. That non-combustible should be pulled out of there. Like I said, we've looked at this numerous of times. So me and Scott are just kind of at a certain point. It's it gets redundant on it. But yes, that 20-foot regardless of combustible or non-combustible structure.
And that's also for the permanent ones, right?
That is correct.
All right, anything else? Last call. All right, we'll move to the next item. It would be under new business, an unnumbered ordinance, an ordinance adopted for the purpose of ending the City of East Ridge, Tennessee Municipal Zoning Ordinance Regulation developed within the corporate limits of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee to minimize danger of life and property due to flooding and to maintain eligibility for participation in the National Flood Insurance Program. This would be the first reading. Mr. Miller or Mr. Howell?
Yeah, Mayor and Council, I briefly touched on this during the last meeting. We're on a tight deadline for this one. FEMA and TDEC have reviewed the City of East Ridge flood ordinance in its entirety. The only sections that are being changed in this, I believe, are in Section B, which are the East Ridge 8 flood firm panel maps, along with the dates. Obviously, we're on, well, I shouldn't say obviously, we're on actually currently on the 2016 FEMA maps. This will be adopting the February 28, 2025. So, like I said, we're on a tight deadline to get this thing adopted. This will go in front of the Planning Commission on October the 6th, come directly to City Council within the same week for a first reading, with the public hearing being on the second reading. That way we'll have it adopted before the deadline and being sent to FEMA for their review and approval of the ordinance. After that, it does go into full effect by February 25th, 2025, which is imperative that we have it, because if we don't have it, a natural disaster did occur, we would be out a lot. And we need these firm panels adopted.
Thank you, sir. Council, any questions?
Is this going to, I was listening to the county the other night discuss the FEMA thing, and they were talking about how much to fill in, 60% to fill in, 50% to fill in. Is that going to be included into this new FEMA thing?
No, so our ordinance stayed in its entirety like it was. The only thing we did adopt was just the new firm panel maps. I'm not familiar with the 50 and 60. If that's something that they wanted to add into their flood ordinance, they could have with TEMA and FEMA approval. But I'm not familiar with the 50 and 60% on there, Mr. Cagle. I'm sorry.
Anything else, council? All right, the next item is an unnumbered resolution, a resolution authorizing a sale of approximate 47 square feet of city-owned property to ERWD LLC. Mr. Miller.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. The city acquired 2,275 square feet of property from the former BB&T building. It's now owned by ERWD for the widening of North Mac Smith Road. The cost came out to $50.38 per square foot. Retaining wall that's been constructed on the east side of North Mac Smith Road by the New Jersey Mikes and what was the other?
Smoothie King.
Smoothie King, thank you. That wall is sitting on approximately 47 square feet of city property. So we've been back and forth on this. The attorneys have been talking, and we've come to the conclusion that they should acquire that 47 square feet at the same cost that the city paid for it back 2 years ago at $50.38 a square foot. So we're looking at a total of $2,367.86. That's what this purchase agreement would be for.
Thanks, sir. Council, any questions?
Got one. Is this going to cost the city anything to, because the road design has already been up there with this 47 that we're using, now we're going to give it back to them, so.
No, there's no conflict with the sidewalk or the drainage at all.
Okay.
Any other questions? See none. So the next item is an unnumbered resolution, a resolution approving bids to replace a portion of the roof of the City Hall complex over administration. Mr. Miller.
Yes, thank you. Okay, we have over the past several years replaced the roof on the court in the jail. And then last year, Earlier this year, last year, we did the roof over the library. Now we have the big one to do, and that's the roof over the administration offices. And that's about 8,840 square feet. We got the approval from the city council at the August 28th meeting to proceed with advertising for bids. Bid opening is set for September 30th, 2025. We're going to open them and read them aloud. We should have a recommendation of the lowest responsible bidder to the council to act on at the October 9th, 2025 meeting.
Thank you, sir. Council, any questions?
This is gonna be a metal roof, right?
I'm sorry?
Metal roof, isn't that what you're gonna put up there?
No, we're gonna put up the same roof that we
Thing is
have,
there?
yes.
Okay.
JDH did the last two, and when they did the one over the jail and this council room as well as the court, that was just coming off a 20-year warranty. So you'll get a 20-year warranty on this.
Any other questions, council? So now the next item is an unnumbered resolution, resolution approving the proposal to provide professional landscaping services for the city designated outdoor spaces. Ms. Giles.
Yes, Mayor and Council. So in alignment with things moving along at Venue 1921 at East Ridge, we put out an RFQ, which we actually opened yesterday, and we plan to invite 2 different landscaping design and build service firms to City Hall next week for us to review everything that they offer. So the scope of services we were looking at were landscape design and planning for city specifications. So right now we already have the irrigation system in at Venue 1921. We will also need a company to also do the landscaping, the trees, and the other areas around Venue 1921. Along with that, like we did our sign company that Mr. Miller had written, we still have landscaping that we want to do around Exit 1 at both of those signs. Also, any beautification that may come up at Camp Jordan or the mediums around
City
Hall. We will now, like with the sign company, we will be able to hopefully present City Council with a landscaping company that we could use for the years to come and not always have to go out to bid. But again, we would bring everything to the City Council anytime that we are doing something. But this kind of lets us start working with someone immediately within the next month. We should be able to present those at the next council meeting.
We decided when we went out to bid on this Venue 1921 building to take out the landscaping. We felt that, you know, the bid's going out, you've got the contractor who adds his percentage in and so forth, that if we awarded it to a local landscape company to do some design and to also bring in the plantings, we get a lot lower price and be a responsible contractor to do that, design and contracting. Pretty much what we do with the signs now. As Shauna mentioned, we've got the services needed throughout the city, and it'd be nice to have somebody on board that we could call in and get that work done. So this would be for several years of a contract with them for their services, both in design and in landscaping.
Council, any questions?
Speaking of the signs down there, I haven't noticed lately, but have the lights been installed down there on those?
The lights, you mean the welcome to City of East Ridge? I'm gonna bring that up in a second.
Okay.
Give me 5 minutes.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right. Then the next item is discussion of stormwater master plan. Mr. Miller.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm not gonna read this whole agenda memorandum. I've talked to several of you about our concern in regard to Our existing storm drainage system, which consists of concrete flumes and drainage ditches, channels, underground culverts, and limited private stormwater detention. We've noted specifically on August 12th that our system could not handle that. Of course, that's a 500-year storm, and the majority of drainage systems put in are somewhere between a 25 or 50-year storm. So this was an unprecedented event. However, we've had some other storms happening, thunderstorms that dumped an inch or so of rain on the city, and it does strain our system, resulting in frequent overflows as well as flooding. The city does not have a inventory of existing stormwater infrastructure assets, or we do have a map that's basically hand drawn on where we believe a lot of these drainage channels as well as concrete flumes exist. We don't have an asset management plan or an adopted stormwater master plan that identifies and prioritizes the critical needs for the repair, maintenance, upgrade, and rehabilitation of these. Give you an example, I have one that I received today. It's over on Stump Avenue, Stump Road. It's a dead end. It's a concrete flume. It was blown out, the sides were blown out, as well as the undermining of the road. I've got a proposal, $60,000 to repair it. That's one. I've got two others that are in our right of way that we are responsible for repairing it. Anyway, we've got a need to do something with our storm drainage system. So I am recommending to the council that we engage a engineering firm through the RFQ process, request for qualification process, to develop a stormwater master plan for the city that would reduce flooding, set aside, upgrade, and maintain, repair, and rehabilitate stormwater infrastructure in a total goal to increase the community's resiliency against storms. The stormwater management plan will inventory and evaluate the performance of the existing drainage system, identify stormwater problem areas, develop a capital improvement program, and then the big one is to develop a revenue stream to fund the program. So those are the components of the stormwater management plan, as well as the adoption of stormwater drainage system maintenance policies, defining maintenance responsibilities for stormwater and drainage features. We have an awful lot of concrete flumes and drainage channels throughout the city on private property, and the plats all read, very simply, this responsibility of the property owner to maintain those structures. I talked to Autumn Friday, who is with the county's water quality, about programs in the county as well as cities. She mentioned to me that a major percentage of what we have in East Ridge is prevalent throughout the cities in Hamilton County. So it's not new. A lot of these drainage structures are up to the maintenance of those drainage structures are up to the responsibility of the homeowner or property owner. So I would entertain any questions that the council has on it.
So one of the big questions I had when I was talking before is used David's ditch behind his house, probably what, 10 feet wide?
Yeah, 10 or 12.
So is he on 5 feet in it and his backyard on the other 5?
We would have to take a look.
All 10 of it.
We would have to take a look at the property, at the what we can find on the maps, GIS maps from the county.
Do you know where your property line is?
That's a good question,
You know
but
where
you
yours
know,
is,
it's
I have no idea. I got a couple feet between the fence and the ditch back there, I assume is mine. But as far as where inside that ditch my property line ends, I have no idea. And I
So
don't think any of my neighbors do either.
in cases like that, you would almost have to look at noticing both properties, and they would have to figure out through a survey on how much of that concrete flume is located on their property and who's on the other property.
Well, I went through this about 5 years ago or longer, and
Big time.
and
We had a lot of discussion
and
back
that
then,
and
yes.
that whole concrete flume, 5 feet wide, about 5 foot deep, that runs in front of my house in my side yard. It's all mine, because I've already had to put 5,000 pounds of concrete in it a few years ago.
So all these culverts that belong to the city, that need to be replaced.
I just gave you one. I've got 3 others.
I know.
Yeah.
When are we gonna replace them?
$60,000 one, probably have to go out to bid on that because it's over 10,000.
Should be coming to council.
And how do you propose that we're gonna pay for it?
The only revenue stream we had to pay for is from the road resurfacing.
Then wouldn't it be best to stop grinding right now?
Stop what?
Grinding, you know, we go out and we grind 10 roads, then we come back and pave them. So wouldn't it be best to go ahead and stop that now, pave what we got till we find out how much money we gotta take out of that money?
I don't have the street program for the roads that are being done now are under the 24-25 fiscal year budget. We just carry those dollars over from one fiscal year to the other. We haven't put together our road resurfacing program for fiscal year 25-26 yet. That we do in October, comes to this council in December, we bid it out in January.
We allocated the funds.
Yes, we've
We've
allocated
got
the
the
funds.
allocated funds.
We've allocated
But we don't have the program yet.
We don't have a program for 25-26 yet. What's being done now was awarded in 24-25 fiscal year.
So how'd you tell me you're gonna pay to fix that culvert then? With what money?
It'll come out of
We
the
have
funds for the
1.4
future. I'm sorry to
Comes out of
speak for
future
you.
money, is that what you're saying?
We have, no, it's coming out of the budget we have now is July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026.
Correct.
That budget has $1.4 million for road resurfacing. We haven't awarded that yet. We're not gonna award that until early 2026.
Okay.
So it'll just come down off of that, so we have less money
Yes.
to reward
Yes, sir.
for
Yes, sir.
service, for road resurfacing. So to your point, it is gonna reduce that, but it's not stopping what's going in progress, because this is,
Costs a different amount of money.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Are there any state or federal grants we can apply for
If you have a plan.
if we have?
We
a
do
plan?
not have a plan. It's very much like we have with the recreation plan that we got for the LPRF. You have to have an adopted plan to be able to obtain state and federal dollars. We have no stormwater plan.
I talked to a stormwater professional who works for the city of Chattanooga. When I told him that we didn't have a plan, he laughed. He was like, "Well, isn't East Ridge a floodplain? I mean, how come y'all don't have a plan in place?" And he thought it was kind of humorous that we didn't have one already. So I'm glad to see that there's some sort of action moving towards that idea.
Any other questions?
I think we need a plan.
Mm-hmm.
So if the city council is okay with it, I will go out for request for qualifications.
I'm fine with it.
I think we need a plan.
Plan's a plan. I mean, my neighbors are upset. I mean, my poor old neighbor, we had a big rain a month before this, and then he spent $4,500 replacing all of his HVAC up underneath his house, and then not even a month later, it all got washed out and he had to do it again.
12th, yeah.
And, he said, I'd like to see something done to get it fixed. But his son bought the house right next door to him, and he's fixing it up. And, he's like, well, that's fine that we fix it now, but he's worried about his son's house there and his next 40, 50 years in East Ridge and his grandkids' next 40, 50 years in East Ridge. And he said that we need to have something done that's a long-term fix. He's more concerned about his short-term fix because he's 70, 80 years old. he ain't got much time left in East Ridge, probably 20 years if God blesses him. But his kid that lives next door could be here for another 40, 50 years, and he's really concerned about that house and what conditions his grandchildren are going to grow up in. And so, I mean, a plan is a good idea, you know, for a long-term fix. You know, fixing flumes is a good idea. We should be doing this. This is going to get us down the road and fix problems that are going to happen in the short term, but a long-term fix is what's needed. Everybody I've talked to, they said short-term's good, but it ain't good enough. So long-term plan is a good idea.
To go through this plan, the development of a full stormwater master plan program, I've done it twice. It's a year and a quarter. It's not something that's done overnight.
Okay. I'm just going to report
Just
back
wanna
to him,
let you-
you know. He's been bugging me to death.
We have to start somewhere though.
Exactly. If you don't set a plan and put something in progress, it doesn't get done, clearly, as we see.
Oh, yeah.
Because the rain goes away and people kind of temporarily forget about it, and then it hits, and then it's an issue again. So we do need, just like our resurfacing plan we put together, like our equipment refurbished we put together, we need to get a plan put together. And I think absolutely, I'm all for getting this RFQ out and start looking at.
We need to take care of our citizens. Some of them are here today that have been affected.
And then we can utilize that plan to start looking into the grants and funding that we can help
Sure,
get
yeah.
assistance.
Well, thank God for dropping all that rain on us, so it brought it to our attention. So, yeah.
Well, and I want to thank the
I don't know if
small
I'd go that far, but it did get us our attention.
I want to thank the small business people that were here. 'Cause
Yes.
My friends came in and took advantage of that.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
By the way, we had about 50 individuals over that 2-week process that did take advantage of the SBA program. So I'm pleased with that. Would have liked to have
Yes.
seen a lot more. However, 50 was a
Well,
good,
It was good. We'd rather seen to get some FEMA money and not have to
yes.
borrow money, even though it was at a discounted interest rate, greatly discounted, but, you
Yeah.
know, it was better than nothing, and we're
20
looking-
years, 20
Yeah.
years at 3%.
So I was glad that they reached out and was able to partner with them and at least get some type of assistance.
You deserve the credit. You were the one that brought them in.
And thank you.
Welcome, but it's all for the city.
I'd like to ask a question.
Yes, sir.
City manager. Are there, speaking about this plan for the stormwater, so you say we've got two more projects to go with this 60,000?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're actually talking about taking the money out of the general fund to pay for these till we get your plan set up?
It would actually be, it could be actually coming out of, not necessarily the general fund. The money we have set aside for resurfacing for fiscal year 25-26, about $1.4 million. $600,000 or $700,000 comes from the capital improvement fund, and the other part comes from the street fund, State Street Aid. So none of this 1.4 million is actually general operating fund, not coming from the general fund.
Okay, but we hadn't actually got it yet either. So if we spend 60 million tomorrow, put this out for bid tomorrow, and then, so if we put this 60,000 out, we spend it, we're gonna write a check out of general fund till we get the asphalt money back?
Yes, well, once this money's comes in,
Comes in here, I mean, we have money in the fund balance.
yeah, we have money, the state aid has money in the fund balance, and the CIP definitely has money in the fund balance. So we don't have to take any of it out of general operating fund.
Okay, so are there any way then that we could put a hold on the AstroTurf at the park, spend that 3 million on fixing these flood problems we've got? Then we wouldn't have to wait on anything or worry about the money, just go ahead and put them out for bid, take the money out of that 3 million, and then put a hold on the AstroTurf at the park till we get the money back.
The only thing I can say on that one is we have already agreed to a contract on the use of that $3 million. We have a valid contract right now for that work to be done.
Well, we could pay a small fine and put them on hold.
That would be a council decision, not mine.
But we don't know the price of the other two repairs.
The other two repairs will be less. This is the worst one.
So you're talking about maybe $100,000.
I would say it shouldn't be more than that.
You wanna put a hold on $3 million for $100,000?
Well, see, that isn't what he told me the other day
Oh.
on one.
What's that?
You told me on one about 250,000.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Whoa. The one for 250,000.
Yeah, over here.
Okay, hold it. Let me explain it to all of you then. There's a dual culvert that goes under the walk-in clinic at Anderson, Altamaha, and South Terrace. It comes out on a property which is just south of the walk-in clinic and the roadway that goes into, off of McBrien Road that goes into the shopping center there, which At Home and the fireworks store exist. Where it comes out, a lot of sediment has accumulated there to the point where the concrete flume is 2 feet deep in sediment in the middle and 4 feet deep on the two sides. We have notified both the property owners because those concrete flumes are located on their property, not the city's, on their property. We have notified 2 of them that they need to take care of those concrete flumes, or we have to take action against them through the notice of violation. The shopping center has responded basically saying they are going to take care of theirs. We have not heard back yet from the other individual that has probably the most accumulated, or have we?
I did today, 4 o'clock. He did contact me. He sent me a plan of action. So we got both property owners right now going to clean up the sediment in those drainage ditches.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
That's the update. Now, if the property owners do not clean it up to the satisfaction, and we end up with a culvert that's still acting the way it is, that will impede the flow of stormwater that comes off of I-24. We will have to take action by going in there and doing it ourselves, and then leaning the property. And that's where I told you that we could be looking at $250,000 to possibly $500,000, because I had a contractor go up there and we walked from that concrete abutment coming out, end wall, culvert, all the way to the east, almost halfway to where it discharges in the Chickamauga Creek. He estimated 300 to 400 truckloads that would need to be taken out of that drainage area, drainage ditches and concrete flumes. It's significant. It is very significant. But that's what I came up with, the $250 or so. We've heard from both of them. I believe that hopefully they will both do something about it, and then we don't have to get involved.
But we have to stay involved to keep.
We have to stay involved to keep it clear. You're right. Absolutely.
Can I assume that the plan's gonna have some constant checks and balances to ensure?
Yes, we're gonna have to. If it's only done halfway and they're not gonna do any more, well, then we're gonna have to come down on them.
Well, I'm
Whatever
saying in this plan that we're looking at for the stormwater master plan, we're gonna
Yes.
have,
Yes,
routine
part of the,
review and oversight of the,
yes.
okay,
The,
so that'll take care
the
of
components of the
constantly
storm,
monitoring.
yeah, the components of the stormwater management plan would include an adoption of a stormwater drainage system maintenance policy,
Yep.
defining the responsibilities of the private and the public and for the stormwater and drainage features that are outlined in the plan. Yes.
All right. Does that answer your question? Is there any other discussion? Any other items that we would like to add to the tentative agenda for October the 9th?
Yes, sir, I have one.
You need to talk about some lights.
Yes.
Is that it, or is there something else?
No, Councilman Cagle brought it up, and I've got it on my agenda. The welcome signs. We finally got the electric easement from the True Life Centers. We just got that the other day. So we already have the, when you get the one over by Chick-fil-A, that's gonna be an easy one to get service to, but I didn't wanna light up one and not light up the other. So we're waiting for the easement, finally got it signed. This will be on the agenda for October 9th. Once we get that signed, we can go ahead and authorize Ortwin to light them both up.
Got it wrote
The
down.
sign seemed to be well received. I've seen pictures on social media, people getting their picture made in front of the sign. It was pretty interesting.
We also, when we bring in or appoint our landscaping designer and so forth, we can have them put in some shrubbery around it, make it look nice.
Big fan.
All right, council, any other items to add? Anything, Mr. Miller, to add? All right, I see none. I will say I hope to see everyone at the fall